Hello everyone, welcome back to our TypeScript series. Let's continue exploring the concept of basic data types. So before we dive into today's topic, please subscribe to FAD Learning for more updates and exclusive content. Every single subscription helps me grow my YouTube channel. Thank you. In the last video, we started exploring basic data types in TypeScript, covering with type annotations, any type. After that, we have seen the built-in data types, and now we will move on to the user-defined data types. It includes arrays, enum, classes, interfaces, and tuple. Sorry, it is tuple, not a function. I'll quickly update this. Now let's proceed with user-defined data types. So these 5 data types comes under user-defined data types. First is array. An array is a collection of elements of the same data type, or we can say an array is an ordered list of values. Next, we will see tuple. A tuple is an array with a fixed number of elements whose types are known. After that, we will see the enum data type. An enum is a special class that represents a group of constants. Next data type is class. Classes are used to create reusable components and acts as a template for creating objects. And last, interface. Interfaces define contract in your code and provide explicit names for type checking. Okay, so now let's understand the type array, tuple, and enum with an example, and we will dive into classes and interfaces later in their own dedicated topics. So I'll jump into Visual Studio Code. Here I'll create one more file with name user defined data types .ts, and I'll compile this whole project in watch mode with command tsc -- watch. Okay, I'll open another terminal, and here I'll run this file with command node user defined data types. Okay, now you can see after compilation the .js file is created. I'll close this explorer, and here we will write the example of array. As I said, an array is a ordered list of values. So array stores the element which can access or update using the array index that starts from 0. And an array can be written in 2 ways. The first way is, so here I'll declare one variable with name first array of type number. So here we need to use the type of elements followed by square bracket to denote an array of that element type, semicolon. So here if you want, you can initialize the value of array like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or else you can do this in separate line like first array equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is the first way to write array in TypeScript. So now we will see the second way. Here I'll declare the second array of type again number, but in this second way we will use generic array type. So here I'll wrap this number in angular bracket, and here I'll write array, and I'll initialize the array value like this. So this is the second way of writing array. This is called as generic array type. Okay, so I'll log this first array, and then I'll log the second array as well. I'll rerun the project, and you can see the output 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the first array, and 1, 2, 3, 4 is the second array. So this is the array example with number type. Now I'll write the another array example with string type. Let skills of type string square bracket, and here I'll assign empty string. Okay, so this example of string type, and if I console this skills, you will get the empty array like this. Okay, I'll comment these two consoles and we'll work on the string type array. So here I'll add one or more strings to the array. So skills with 0 index equals to I'll add the skill Angular and I'll add the second skill React. Okay. Now I'll write the console after this, save the changes and rerun the project. Okay. Here we need to change the index. React is for 1. Okay. You can see first it is empty array. After that we have added 2 skills Angular and React, or we can use the push method to add the values inside array like skills dot push, and inside push we can add the values like TypeScript. Then I'll console again and rerun the project. You can see first empty array, then Angular and React, and then we have pushed one more skill, that is TypeScript, Angular, React, TypeScript. But here, what happen if I push the integer value? So instead of TypeScript, I try to push the integer value 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see we are getting error. Argument of type number is not assigned to parameter of type string. So it means we can push only the string values into this skills array. We can't push integer, boolean, other data types value. Okay. And also we can make use of read only keyword to prevent an array from being changed. So for that, we just need to use read only. That's it. So it means we cannot change the value of this skills array. And you can see the error while adding the values inside skills array. Okay, so you can make use of this read only keyword as per the requirement. So far we have stored the same data type values in array, but if you want to store the mixed type values, in that case, we can declare array like union. So here I'll add comment mixed type values. And here I'll declare one more variable with name course of type array, and this time I want to store, or I want to add the values of type string as well as number. So I can make use of this pipe symbol and I can add the data types as per requirement. Okay, so inside this course variable, now I can add a value of type string math with number 40. I can add the English with number 50 like this. Okay. And if I log this core, let me comment above consoles. And now you can see the output math 40, English 50. It means an array can store values of mixed type. For that, we have to use the syntax like type 1, type 2, and then square bracket to declare an array of values with mixed types. Okay, so we have seen the array example with same data type or different data types. Now we will see the example of tuple data type. A tuple works like an array with some additional considerations, like the number of elements in the tuple is fixed and the types of elements are known and need not be the same. For example, we can use a tuple to represent a value as a pair of string and a number. So here I'll declare one variable with name house of type string, comma, number. So we can declare a tuple data type with this square bracket, and inside square bracket we have to write the data types. And now I'll add the value inside this house variable equals to inside array. Let's say the house name is white and the number is 100. Okay. So here the order of values in a tuple is important. If you change the order of values, for example, here instead of string and number, if I assign first number and then string, you will get an error. The number is not assigned to type string. Also, we can't add the more values like this. We will get an error. So you can see the error. String number is not assigned to type string and number. So it means the number of elements in a tuple is fixed. So I'll log this house and we will see the output white and 100. And one more thing, we can make tuple type is read only so that we can't push values inside tuple. Okay. So this is all about tuple. Now we will see the example of enum. Enum stands for enumerated type, and an enum is a special class that represents a group of constants. And enum comes in two flavors like numeric and string. So first we will see the example of numeric type, and then we will move on to the string. So here I am going to create enum that represents status code. So to define an enum, first use the enum keyword followed by the name of the enum, that is status code. Then define constant values for the enum. So here inside curly bracket, I'll add constant values. So here I'll add not found, then I'll add success, accepted, and last I'll add bad request separated by comma. And after that, I'll log the status code. Okay, so in this example, the enum name is status code and the not found, success, accepted, bad request are the constant values. Now I'll run this file, and here you can see the output. By default, enums will initialize the first value to 0 and add 1 to each additional value, like 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3. And if I initialize 1 to this not found, then you can see the output 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, save the changes and rerun this project. And now you can see the output 1, 2, 3, 4. It means we can set the value of a first numeric enum and it will auto increment from that. Like I have initialized 1 and the value you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. If I assigned 5, you can see the output 5, 6, 7, 8. And also we can assign the unique number values for each enum value. But in that case, the values will not increment automatically. We will see the example. I'll initialize 404 to this not found and 200 to this success. I'll add 202 for this accepted, and for bad request I'll add 400. Okay, now save the changes and rerun this file. You can see 200 for success, 202 for accepted, 400 for bad request, and 404 for not found. So it means if you assign unique numbers to each enum, then the value will not increment automatically. Okay, so this is the example of numeric enum. Now let's see the example of string enum. So here I'll write enum keyword first and followed by name of the enum. I'll write direction, curly bracket, and inside curly bracket I'll add the constant values north, east, south, and west. Okay, and I'll log this direction. Now here, if I want to log the north value of this enum, then I'll write here direction.north and I'll run this project and you can see the output 0. Okay, I'll comment this status code console, save the changes and rerun. You can see the output is 0 because by default enum will initialize the first value to 0. And if I want to print south, you will see the output 2, 3 because 0, 1, 2. And if I want to print the north, east, south, west, then I have to initialize the string value to each enum value. Like for north, I'll assign north. For east, I'll assign east. For south, I'll assign the value south. And for west, I'll assign west. Okay, in this case I'll shift F, format document. I'll rerun this project. Now you can see the output south. For east you will get output east. See, okay, and if I print whole direction, you will see the complete object north, east, south, west. Okay, so this is all about user defined data types. We have seen the example of array, then tuple, then enum. Now we will proceed to investigate other essential TypeScript data types such as object type, type aliases, and string literal types. So what is object type? An object is a collection of key value pairs where each key is unique and maps to a specific value. And what is type aliases? Use type aliases to define new names for existing types. And last, string literal. It defines a type that accepts specified string literal. Now let's see the example of these three types. So here I'll add comment object type. Okay, so object is defined with this curly bracket. So now I'll declare the variable with name obj of type object, open and close curly bracket, and inside that I'll add key as a name of type string, and the second key I want to add age of type number. Okay, and I'll initialize the value. So while initialization, we need to add key value pairs. So key is name. So I'll add the value of this name key, John, and the another key is age. And the value of this age key is 30. Okay. So 30 is a number. So no need of quotes. And now I'll log this object, obj. So here you can see we have declared one variable with name obj, and this is of type object. That is why we have used curly bracket, and inside curly bracket we need to add the keys with data type, and we need to add the values inside this object in the form of key value pair. Okay, so I'll run this project and you can see the output object with name John and age 30. And here inside object we can declare properties optional. Optional properties are properties that don't have to be defined in the object definition. So this is the object definition. If you have declared any of this property optional, then you can skip that property while defining the object. And optional properties are denoted with question mark like this. So in this case, if I remove this age, then also I'll get the output with name John. But if I remove this question mark, you can see we will get error. Property age is missing in type name string but required in type name string age number. Okay. And one more thing, by using interface, we can specify the properties of an object. Like instead of declaring this property here, we can declare that inside interface. Like here, I'll create interface with name person, and inside interface, I'll pass this name and age. And instead of this curly bracket, here we just need to pass the interface name, that is person. In this case also, we will get the same output like name John and age 30. Okay, so to declare the properties of object, we can make use of interface. Now next we will see the example of type alias. So the type alias allows you to create a new name for an existing type. So to define a type alias, we use the keyword type followed by the alias name. I will take char name equals to the type it represents. I'll write string. So in this statement, char name is a type alias name for string data type. And now I'll declare variable with name, student name, and I want the student name with string data type. So here, instead of string, I can write char name because we have assigned string data type to the char name. Okay. So similarly, I can create one more variable with student address, and again, instead of string, I'll assign char name. So here we are using the same data type in many places. It means the type alias creating reusable types that can be used in many places in the code base. Okay. So in this example, we have created char name as a type alias for the string data type and use it to declare two variables, student name and student address. So now I can assign any string value to student address as well as student name. So here for student address, I'll assign Mumbai, and for student name, I'll assign Vishal. But here, instead of character, if I assign number 1, 2, 3, you can see we are getting error. Type number is not assignable to type string, because the student address and student name of type string, not a number. We can make use of union type if you want to assign different data types value. So what we need to do here, we need to add the pipe symbol and then we can add the data type as per requirement. So you can see once I add number data type, there is no error. So here I'll create one more variable with student age and I'll assign the same alias name, that is char name, and here I'll assign the value to the student age equals to 20 and I'll assign name Vishal because this is name, so it should be in string. So this is the example of type alias. We have seen type alias with string type as well as union type. And type aliases can be useful for simplifying complex type, making code more readable. And as I said, type aliases can be useful for creating reusable types that can be used in many places in the code base. So next type we will see string literal. Okay, a TypeScript string literal type defines a type that accepts specific string literal. So here I'll declare one variable with name keyword and I'll assign one string to this keyword, that is enter. Okay, so here keyword variable can accept only one string, that is enter. So in this case I can assign only enter value to the keyword. So this is valid. But if I try to assign the different value to the same keyword variable, like if I assign backspace, you can see we are getting error. Backspace is not assignable to type enter. It means here, while declaring the keyword variable, we have provided the specified string literal as a type of that variable. It means this keyword variable can accept only this string. And if I try to assign the different string, it will throw an error. But again here, we can use the string literal types with union type and type aliases to define types that accept a finite set of string literals. Like here, we can add pipe symbol and we can add backspace. You can see no error with keyword. So here we can assign as many string as we want. Like I'll assign shift. So in this case, if I assign the shift value to this keyword, then I'll not get error. But if I try to assign the different string like delete, now we are getting error because we didn't specify the delete string to this keyword variable. That is why we are getting error here. Type is not assignable to type. Enter backspace shift. It means we can assign only enter backspace shift to the keyword variable. Okay, so this is the example of string literal. Now I'll go back to PPT and let's learn about type assertion. So the type assertion is a mechanism which tells the compiler about the type of a variable. It means type assertion is a way to tell the compiler that you know more about the type of a value than it does. And when TypeScript determines that the assignment is invalid, then we have an option to override the type using a type assertion. So TypeScript provides two ways to do type assertion. First is using angular bracket and second is using as keyword. And here you can see how to do type assertion with angular bracket. Like inside angular bracket, we have to specify the type of variable, that is number, and using as keyword means we have to write as keyword between name of variable and the type of variable, like code as number. We'll see the same example in Visual Studio Code. Here I'll write the comment type assertion. And after that, I'll write the same example here. I'll change the name. This is EMP code and this is employee code. So in this example, we have a code variable with type any. And in the line number 84, we have assigned the value of this code variable to the another variable called EMP code. However,
we know that the code is of type number even though it has declared as any. So in this case, while assigning code to this EMP code, we have asserted that code is of type number using angular bracket, as well as in the line number 85, we have asserted the same code is of type number using as keyword. And now the type of this employee code and EMP code is number. Okay, now I'll run this file and you can see the output number. So similarly, you can see the type of EMP code, number and number. So it means type assertion allows us to set the type of value and tell the compiler not to infer it. So in such scenario, we can use type assertion, and I'll show you another example of type assertion for IntelliSense. Okay, I'll comment these two lines. And here we will write the another example. For that, I'll declare one more variable with name, channel name of type string equals to, I'll assign value fd_len. Okay, now I want to use the property of len. So for that, I'll write channel name. So here after pressing dot, I can choose length. So I'll add this inside log. Okay, save the changes and I'll run this project and you can see I'll get output 11. The length of this FAD learning is 11. But instead of assigning value here, if I declare variable and if I assign the value of this variable in the next line, like channel name equals to FAD learning, in this case, I want to calculate the length. So for that, I'll write channel name and after that, I'll press dot. You can see we can't get IntelliSense after pressing dot. So in this case, I can make use of type assertion and I can see the type IntelliSense after pressing dot. So for that, what I need to do? I need to wrap this channel variable inside round bracket, and here using angular bracket, we have to specify the type of this variable, that is string. And now I'll delete this dot. Once I press dot, I'll get the IntelliSense. You can see. Now I can use length property. So I'll add this statement inside console. Okay, now you can see the same output, that is 11. So this type assertion we did with angle bracket. Similarly, you can use as keyword like variable name as keyword and then type of variable, that is string. So in this case also you will get the same output, that is 11. So this is how we can tell to the compiler about the type of variable. So we have seen two different examples of type assertion. One is for normal variable of type any and the other example for type IntelliSense. So that's it for type assertion. We have now completed basic data type concepts of TypeScript. So there are two main purposes of data types in TypeScript. First purpose is types are used by the TypeScript compiler to analyze your code for errors. And the second purpose is types allows you to understand what values are associated with variables. I hope this explanation has clarified the concept of data types. Still, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below. Thank you for watching and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.